Okay, so this is 4.4 matching graphs and equations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through just the first 2 pages here for examples, and then you're going to do the rest of the booklet on your own just for practice. So what we have here is we have 3 people, Bruce, Monica, and Sari. They're participating in a 5-kilometer walk for charity. So what they got to do is they got to raise money from their sponsors. So these graphs represent the amount of money a sponsor owes related to the distance walked. So you can see the 3 very different graphs. And what we want to do is we want to match up the equations with the graphs. So we're looking for the form here, y equals mx plus b, right? That's the basic one we're looking at. You remember this is the y value, the x value, m is the slope, right? The rise over the run, and b is the y-intercept. So right away you can look at these and you can see, sorry, it starts at the origin, right? So there is, the y-intercept in this case is 0, right? This one, the y-intercept, it looks like, remember, you gotta look at the scale here. So the right there would be a 2, so that looks like it starts at a 3. And this one, that starts at a 5. So that is right away the giveaway which graph you can pick. So if we look down here at the graphs, we have m equals 2d plus 3, m equals 4d, and m equals d plus 5, right? D is the distance here, and m is the money. So look at this first one, it's plus 3. So we know it crosses the y-axis at positive 3. So it has to be Monica in this case. But let's double check the slope here too. So this is a 2 over 1, which means we go up 2 over 1, right? Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So that works in this case. So Monica is the m equals 2d plus 3. What about this m equals 4d? Well, there's no number out here, so there's a 0 out there, so we know it starts at the origin. So this one has to be Sari's. And the slope would, in this case, be 4. So up 4 over 1, right? So up 4 over 1, up 4 over 1. You got to be careful. You got to look at the scale on the side. See how it's different over here compared to the other 2? So Sari would be the m equals 4d. And then, well, by default, this would have to be the last one, but let's double check. So m equals d plus 5. So 5 means we start at 0, 5. That's the y-intercept. And then what's in front of the d? We don't write it in. Well, there's a 1, and it's a 1 over 1. So that means, right, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, right? So we can see that that is Bruce. So m equals d plus 5 is Bruce. Okay. Next page. So what we have here is we have 3 different graphs and 3 different equations, and we have to pick which one goes with which. Well, on the last example, they were already in the proper form, y equals mx plus b, but these ones we might have to change some of them around. Let's look at this first one. So y equals 3x plus 3. Well, that's good. That's already in the form we want. You just got to remember this 3 is over 1, just it helps us with our slope. This one here, x plus y equals 3. We got to rearrange this one, right? We got to get the x to the other side. So to do that, we subtract both sides by x. So we end up with y equals negative x plus 3. What's in front of that? What's between the negative and in front of the x? Well, there's a 1, so it's negative 1 over 1. I'm writing that in because that'll help us when we graph this. And the last one, y equals 3x minus 3. Well, that one's already done for you. Okay, so now let's take a look at the graph. So this one here, we can look at the y-intercepts. This one's positive 3. This one's negative 3. This one's positive 3. So let's maybe deal with this negative one first, because that's the one that's kind of different. Do one of these have a y-intercept of negative 3? Well, the first one, no, the y-intercept's positive 3. The second one, the y-intercept's positive 3. But look at this one here, the third one. Yeah, it's negative 3. So the y-intercept is negative 3. Now, let's also look at the slope. The slope is 3 over 1. So let's go here and we go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. Bang, there's the next one. Up 3 over 1. Bang, there's the next one. Okay, so graph B has to be y equals 3x minus 3. Well, what does that mean for the other two with positive 3 as the y-intercept? Well, okay, they both have positive 3. That doesn't help us. But if you notice, one has a positive slope, one has a negative slope. Oh, we can look at that then. So the first one here, y equals 3 over 1x plus 3, or y equals 3x plus 3, has a positive slope. This one, the middle one here, y equals negative x plus 3, has a negative slope. Well, that helps us decide. So let's go over here, the first one here. So we start at positive 3, right? That's the y-intercept. This one, we go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So this has a negative slope. So this has to be the y equals negative x plus 3. So by default, this last one has to be y equals 3x plus 3, but let's check it. Let's make sure we didn't do it wrong. So our y-intercept is positive 3. The slope is 3 over 1. So this means it's positive. We go up. So up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. See how that works? So in some of these questions, you're going to have to rearrange it so it's y equals mx plus b. And then if you're really stuck, you could do a small table of values. You could pick some values of x that are on the graph and plug them in and see which values you get of y. That may help you figure it out. but most of the time you can figure it out from the y-intercept and the slope. Okay, so now there is, let's just double check here, 4 more pages, and each one, if you look, has a bunch of questions on them. Now I have the answers here, of course, but the ones you're going to do, you need to work on that. You got to decipher between what you're going to do. And finish that, and then we only have one more lesson in this chapter.